guys, welcome to Feel the Fear TV, the channel for those of you who understand the importance of pushing forward with your fears instead of allowing your fears to hold you back. Please remember to subscribe, then you'll be notified of the new videos coming on the channel. And also share if you care, so please feel free to share this video with anybody that you know that may be struggling with their mental health, anxiety, depression, anything which is affecting their quality of life. So what are we going to be talking about today? Well, today I want to introduce to you the concept of the 3 levels of fear taken from Susan's book. So this is part 1 of 3 videos. Part 1, we're going to be talking about level 1 fears. So fear is split into 3 levels. And once we understand the 3 levels, we can see that the thing that we think we are scared about, that's not what we're actually scared about. So let's look at some level 1 fears. So I'm going to be going from the 20th anniversary edition of this book. There have been many editions, but this is the one that I tend to refer to. So on page 11, Susan talks about the 3 levels of fear. You can see from my book that I highlight quite a lot, and that makes me remember really important parts that have resonated with me. So if you get a copy of this book, and I recommend that you do, please remember it's your book, and so you can write in it as much as you can. So let's have a look at the 3 levels of fear. So Susan says that fears can be split into one of 2 categories. Those fears that just happen to us, and those fears where we need to take action over. So I'm videoing this in the time of the coronavirus, COVID-19, whatever you want to call it. So for many of us, this is something that has happened to us that has been out of our control. So let's look at other fears that can just happen to us that can create anxiety. Aging, getting old. Becoming disabled, retirement, being alone, children leaving home, natural disasters, such as the one we're in now, loss of financial security, that's a big one for many people, change, any change at all. We are hardwired to not embrace change because it's a threat. We don't know what's coming. Dying, war, illness, losing a loved one, accidents, rape. So they are some examples of things that can happen to us, that can put us in heightened state of anxiety, aka fear. Remember, fear and anxiety are the same. So let's look at the other side of level 1 fears. And those are fears which we have to take action over. Well, we don't have to, but it would be, better if we could, because then we become more empowered. We start to live a life that really matters, that can make us happy. So those fears requiring action, going back to college, going back to university, making decisions, changing a career, so ending one job, starting a new job, making new friends, ending a relationship or even beginning a relationship, having a child, raising a child. I'm the mother of a 15-year-old. I get a lot of fears. Asserting oneself, losing weight, being interviewed, driving, public speaking, making a mistake, and even intimacy, opening your heart to somebody, becoming vulnerable to somebody. So those are just examples of level 1 fears. And the first step of change is becoming aware of what we are actually unhappy about or what we are actually fearful about. So it's okay to be fearful. That's the point of life. The point of life is to evolve and change and grow and open ourselves up to amazing opportunities. But what happens is, if it's different to how we are currently living, then the anxiety comes, the fear comes, because it's a threat, it's the unknown. So what I want you to do now is just to make a list of any fears that you may have and look at, are there fears that have happened to you that have just, the universe has just made happen, or somebody else in your life has made happen, or the economic climate has made happen? Or are there fears of where you want to do something, you want something to be different? You might be unhappy with your job, with your relationship, with, the people that are living in your household. So just now, just take a moment and get your phone and make some notes, or get a piece of paper or a journal, and just actually stop and think, what am I actually wanting? What fears does that bring up when I think of taking action to move into this new area of what I'm actually wanting? And just sit with that for a while. Just sit with the fears that you have and say it's okay to have fears. You might not have been out the house for 2 years. My son didn't go out the house for a year when he was 12 years old. So then to start getting him out the house 12 months later, we had to look at the fears that he had. And we had to break those fears down into, what do you think that's going to happen, and what do you need to take action to make happen? So that's the learning that I want you to take from this video, guys. Just sit with an awareness of where you are in your life. What fears do you have? What anxieties do you have? Remember, fear and anxiety is the same. And look at, what is it you need to do to start to take action so that we can get rid of those fears. We can change the status quo. And in the next video, I'll be looking at the level 2 fears. What are your level 2 fears relating to the fears that you've made a list of right now? So thank you for listening, and remember to subscribe.